Hello and welcome to the H&M Show. That guy over there, it's Michael.
And that girl over there is Heather. It's my
Mixed
turn.
It up a little bit.
I know, and it's my turn this time to ask you, what does H&M stand for tonight?
Oh, well, this week, guess what? It stands for Happy Birthday, Michael.
So that is the H&M. Okay, I get it. That's cool. I like that.
HBM, but whatever. It's, happy birthday, Michael. Today is Michael's birthday, everyone.
Close enough. All right. Hey, listen, glad to see everybody here. We're going to get right into it because we're covering a lot of stuff, right? What are we covering?
We are. Actually, I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but We are in a fast-growing world, and only the most visual arresting posts succeed. Visual arresting. That's quite some wording, isn't it? It takes 2 to 3 seconds to form an impression online, and 94% of impressions are based upon visual stimuli. You might have spent hours creating a relevant, high-quality blog post, but that may as well have been for nothing if no one ever notices your post, right? So, for example, earlier this year, PicMonkey actually posted 2 pins that linked back to the same exact article. The only difference between the 2 of them was the image that they used. Both posts had around the same amount of impressions, meaning same number of eyes saw those images, but only one of them received 3 times as many engagements.
Wow, that's too cool.
Pretty big deal. Images matter on social media. So today, you and I, Michael, are going to be bringing Pixlr. That's what you're going to be working on, and I'll be working on PicMonkey.
You had to think about it, didn't you? Because
I did have to think about it.
You have to understand, though. I was saying to her, I said, "How do you spell PicMonkey?" I know I'm spelling it wrong, so it was her turn to mess up this time. So
that's right, because I was going to say that you were bringing PicMonkey and I was bringing Pixlr, but it doesn't matter. We are going to be bringing to you guys a couple of online, nothing to download software that you can actually manipulate your images for social media or anything that you want to use. And
that's right.
We'll be bringing you some tips tonight, right? Michael, you want to start us off with Pixlr tips?
I'm going to right now. And you can see us on screen too, so you're not sitting there staring at a piece of paper. I always like to do that. So hopefully everybody's seeing it just right. I want to say, okay, here's the first thing I want to tell you. This is kind of cool. I'm showing my Google Drive. You say, why are you showing Google Drive? Well, what I wanted to show you was when I click on this logo or this image that I have here from the show, I can open with, and you can see up at the top there, open with, Pixlr Editor is a choice that I can choose. Okay? Cool. It comes right with your Google Drive, and it's an app that you can download or whatever and use that straight from there. Here's the reason that I don't use that. Okay, this is just me though. Is I can never go back and find it. I don't know where it downloads it. It does download it, but I can never find it afterwards. So I'll have to, that's for me to worry about, and I'll figure it out later. But anyway.
Yeah, on another show, I'll tell you what happens.
Okay, thanks. Good. Appreciate it. All right. So anyway, this is what Pixlr looks like from the inside. I'm going to show you something else real quick. A good friend of ours, his name is Terry Lee Britton. It's called PixlrTemplates.com. This is kind of cool. Now, it may be a little bit outdated. I will say that only because he probably doesn't, no one said, hey, look, this needs to be this, or because that's what he always went off of was people that would tell him, hey, look, this image is this size. Can you change this? But he has on here all kinds of stuff. Google Plus, Business Hangouts, YouTube Live events, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, all of the, and not just these things, but I'm going to go into examples so you can see further what I'm talking about. Like on Google Plus right here, he has the Google Plus profile picture, the collections cover, the Google Plus cover, the lower thirds, you know, when you're using lower thirds, and then Business Hangouts, all their stuff, and then YouTube images, you know, for the guideline, for the graphic and all that kind of stuff, and the desktop cover, and it's really cool. It's already done for you. But what I like about this is one thing that's really cool, is you just click on the link and it opens it up automatically in Pixlr. He set it up with a blank template that is already PNG. So what I mean by PNG,
he's taken out all of the you got to know what number to use and stuff. Is that
exactly? Oh,
nice.
It's really cool for the size and everything. So anyway, I was going to show you on this one. I do help videos. Some of you might have seen this week where I put out a couple of help videos. Thank you for the happy birthday too, by the way. Those of you that have been saying that and giving me that, I appreciate that. When I go and do this, this is one I did on Google Drive, copy, not move. Actually, I think it was Mark that needed the help on that. One thing that I like to do, here's the way I do it, and you can do this different way. You can create a template, I think it's a PXD template, to where you have all these layers over on the right-hand side. You can see along this right-hand panel, you see where it says layers, it just says background. If I add a layer, and we can sit there and talk about layers and all that kind of stuff. I add a layer. So now I'm doing something on top of this that layer is like a sheet of film that I'm now painting. Like if Heather, just I use this as your example because you're an artist and crafter. I could paint something, all the blue in the background, and then come over with another clear sheet that I could paint on it, then another clear sheet and paint on that, and all those layers would be on there that way. So that's kind of the way I show it.
And there's a reason for that, because if you mess up a layer, you're not messing up your entire
You're just
piece,
messing
right?
up that particular thing. So, for example, if
I need clear canvases. That's what you've just made me realize.
Okay. So over here on the left-hand side, you'll see the eraser tool. So if I take the eraser and I'm going to make it bigger, just so I have a brush size right here, I can make it, let's say 200. So you can see that big circle now. If I'm erasing, nothing is erasing at all. And the reason
that's because you have a clear piece over the top of that one?
because I'm on the layer. Yes, it's because I'm on the layer. Okay. So nothing erases. But I'm going to go back to that background so you can see what it's like when I do erase it. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to erase this. But it's white.
But
I don't want to do that, right? Okay, I did that on purpose because now what I can do is I can go back to the eraser tool in this history. This is a cool thing. I can just go back and erase it.
Oh.
So that mistake, I can go back and erase my mistakes, or you can do Control Z as undo, but whichever is easier for you. A lot of programs. So what I would do in this case, if I want to keep the black background, I'm going to go to the brush tool or the pencil tool, but probably the brush tool. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get that larger size. I can take it and now I can erase it. And now when I erase, it just makes the black like the black that's back there. Cool, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Then if I want to get rid of the Google Drive, if I want to get rid of that, if say I'm doing a whole new thing, I can just erase that as well and do the same old thing. And one trick is, let me just give you a quick trick, a tip right here while I'm doing this. I'm holding down, like right now, if I have the circle, I'm going to hold down. Now I hold down and move. Because if I do, okay, like you saw what I just erased. Now, if I click and do it one at a time, and now I do this. So that's 3 different things that I have to do to undo to get it back. Rather than do that in 3 separate segments, I just hold it down and get rid of things. And you say, oh, what if you go up here by accident? Oops, didn't mean to take any of that out. I just undo it. These are some cool tricks and things, and this is how I do real quickly. If I want to get one of these and create a whole new one, I can go in here and I can do that kind of thing. So, and get rid of those kind of things, okay?
So you're creating like a thumbnail for a YouTube video, right? That's what that is?
That's what this is, yes. This is a thumbnail, which I think you're doing the same thing.
It was one that you started with, though? Like one you already had created?
That's correct. It's one that I already had created.
How do you start, like, I mean, did you use a template, or how do you start to even get to that point?
One thing you want to do whenever you come in, you can go File, Open Image. Okay, so that's what I was going to do. I was going to show you this anyway, but I'll show you what I do. I can open...
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. You're fine. I can open an image, and then I can choose from my computer right here where I can go get that image. Okay, I can go get whatever I want. And this is where I went to get that Google Drive text from that or whatever. These are the ones that I've done in the past. So that's where I went and got it originally. Okay.
Okay.
But let's say I want to go in here and I want to add an image, like, let's just say I want to add this Google logo. Okay. This Google logo. Okay. So what happens is it creates a whole new image. Okay. I have a whole new image here. Okay. So now I got to figure out, how am I going to get this image back on my image that's back behind here? Because if you can see, I have two windows now. This is the logo, and this is the quick tips that I'm working on. I can quickly just Control A to select all, and Control C. Okay, most people know those, maybe not the A one, and then Control V, paste it. So now I got the big G there, and I can use it. And now if you notice over here, it added it as a second layer. So now if I come up here, right now I have the, you see how I still have that circle and I still have the paint thing, the paintbrush? I need to change it to Move Tool. You can Move Tool or Select Tool. I want the Move Tool. So now I can just grab it and I can move it where I want. That actually kind of looks pretty cool. If I had it just like that, kind of right next to the how-to, that's cool. So I can do something like that. If I wanted it smaller, I can do all that kind of stuff. Again, I'm not going to go into great detail because both of us have to go. I can sit here all night and go through a lot of this.
You're doing
I know.
fine.
I'm just saying. So now I'm going to come over here, and you see this color palette over here where it's black, and you see down here there's a little hand. I don't know if you can see that down here on the left-hand side, and then I have a grid. I'm going to select white. So now it changes this palette to white. Set the main color. If I want to change that color for some reason, I can click on it and it gives me a grid and I can make it whatever I want. I can move this circle around, get to the proper color I want, then I can come in here and pick how I want the color and then just choose that and hit OK, and then now it makes a palette with that. Okay? That's how you do that. I know, and I'm going through this quick, but I'm just kind of giving you the basics and giving you an idea. A lot of software and stuff out there has these same kind of tools, but they do it all a little bit differently. And hopefully it is a little bit different in PicMonkey, so I can see the differences too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, good. All right. So if I choose white, I'm going to choose white because that's the text that I use pretty commonly. I'm going to go ahead and choose text. So I choose text, and I go right here, and I click this. It gives me a window. And we're going to put in here Google G Suite. Let's just use that as an example. All right, and that's what I want. But I want to use the same font that I've been using all the time, like this over here where you see the Mike Daniels and the MD Quick Tips. I want it to be the same thing as that. So I can select from a ton of fonts. Okay, there's a bunch of them. And this is one of my favorites, VAJ Rounded. I use it all the time. I love it. And I can make the size of it a little bit bigger if I want to. And then if I move the text, if I get in front of that G and move it down, then it does that. I can do it centered, so it looks more centered. I know that box is right in my way. I just move it out of my way real quick. And I can just do all of this. And this is a separate thing. If you notice over here, it added another layer. So that's a layer. Then that's a layer, then my background's a layer. I have all those different things as layers. Okay?
Okay. Question?
Sure, fire away.
Hex codes for colors. Is it possible, Bill is asking, can you add your custom color if you know the hex code?
Yes, you can actually. If you remember when I was in here, let's see, let me go in here and select this color. Right here is you can get the number, the FFFFF or whatever, you can get that, or you can put in if you know the HSL, any of those, or if you know the RGB, you can put those in. It's really kind of cool. Yeah, and
Very
you can
cool.
and you can customize that. One thing that I like to do, a lot of times when I'm doing shading or something like that, or put an image behind, I'll take maybe a color from these, so I can take use the picker, which is over here, which is somewhere I can't. Oh, right here. This one, color picker tool. Yeah, and then choose it, and then I can get that color. Now I don't even have to go to that grid or anything. It just changes that. It's ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. On
screen. So if I wanted to go get my white text without choosing white text, I can just click on the white, and it changes my main palette over there, and I can just go. Another quick shortcut with the color picker. One last thing I'm going to do. It'll be quick, I promise.
No, you're doing fine on time, so don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. All right. Yep. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to select this. Okay. So now I'm in this image again, the Google logo. Control A, Control C. I'm going to copy it again, and then I'm going to Control Paste. So now I've got it like this. One thing you can do here, I can do it make it like a. See how it's kind of like 3D kind of looking. Gives it a whole different kind of look, and it looks kind of cool that way. It's kind of neat doing that kind of thing. And then I can change these colors if I want to. And this is a trick that's pretty neat. Color replace. So I can choose, let's say I take this purple color, okay? And now I want to take this red and I want to change it to purple. It's only going to change that I touch. So it's really kind of cool.
So now you have the G overlapping the other G. Is anything that red is touching on the other G is also going to change, or no?
Nope.
Okay.
Just what I'm drawing on. Yep. You got to be careful though along this yellow, because see how it takes over some of the yellow then? So you got to be real careful with that. Now I could have selected that area. That's another cool thing that you can do with selecting. Now I'm going to undo, because I just wanted to show you that you can do that. but I can do a magic wand and just select this. Oops, didn't mean to hit that. Let's try this again. Let me come off of that and select here. Okay, so if I come back on here, magic wand, see if I can get to it this time. There you go. See how it's just selected that red area? So now when I do that, and I want to choose that purple, okay, oops, I already had purple, never mind. Okay, now I can just sit here and go all over the place, and it just fills in that red area.
Neat.
Isn't that cool? And it changes it to that purple. I will say this, you have to be careful with your colors that you choose and all that kind of stuff. And this is one of the reasons why also, I'm going to stop real quick. I'm going to grab a bigger brush. If I grab a bigger brush, I can do it all at once, and I'll show you. See, okay. now I can just go like this. Hold on, let me see if I can hit it. I have to hit it just right. Okay. Yeah, now it's doing that, and here's why. Okay. You have to do it all at once. That is one thing that you have to do when you're doing this trick. Let me go back to right there. Okay, so now if I hit in here, you have to hit on the color you want. Like I want red. Okay, boom. It's going to make everything that's that red and do that in color. Cool.
Nice. That was quick.
Yep. And not quick, easy, boom, it's done. The other thing is you have to think about too, it only works with major colors. If you get a shade of aqua green sometimes, it won't work. And I'm not good with color, so I don't know if aqua green is the right terminology, but but that's really what I wanted to show and go over. I guess we can you can get ready with your stuff if you want to go ahead and get all that. And if you're already ready, that's cool.
Just about.
Okay.
Just about.
Hey, but yeah, let me answer some quick questions here or whatever, okay?
I think you have to switch the screen, though, so that way I can change.
True. No problem. That one? Yeah,
sure.
Screen share. Screen share, there you go. All right, you ready? Let's see here. Custom color number I'm at. Oh, yeah. You bet, no problem. I saw Scott Scowcroft joined us tonight.
Yes.
That's kind of cool. That's awesome. Hey, Scott. All right, here we go. Doing it right now. There we go. So we are there.
Okay, so I'm on the PicMonkey page, and again, like we had talked about before, these are online available, and you can actually do the exact same thing from your Google Drive, and there's a PicMonkey app available, so you can open your Google Drive images directly with the PicMonkey app as well. You just have to add the app to your drive. It's really simple. But so then when you get to when you edit from there, though, it's a little bit different than this. I like to edit all of my stuff directly from the PicMonkey website, which is just picmonkey.com, and I go from here. You can actually edit an image, you can touch up an image, you can design any size. They have templates and blank canvases, all of that, and then you can even make collages. Really simple to do. Okay. We're going to make a thumbnail for YouTube. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start by clicking the design, and it's going to open us up to another window. I could have used a template, but they don't have a YouTube thumbnail template yet. I'm certain they're going to at some point.
And when you say that, you just mean the size, right? The size that it's supposed to be, or they recommend?
They actually have templates that have imagery and like text already ready for you and everything. So all you would do is just put in your words.
Okay.
Very similar to what Canva offers.
Okay.
So they're just stepping up their game. It's a new thing. So when you open it up to design your canvas, the first thing it wants to know is what color is your canvas. So I usually leave mine white, but you can choose any color in the rainbow. Doesn't really matter.
Cool.
Anything you want. Very cool, right? And you can also add in your hex code if you have a specific color that you always make your backgrounds. You can do that. You can also make it transparent by clicking this box here.
Where do you enter that in? Is that
Go
where,
ahead.
is that, I just can't see it, but it might be my screen. Okay, I see. Right up there is where you entered in. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
All
Just
right.
checking.
So at this stage of the game, I usually hit cancel because I never make changes to this portion of it. The first change I make myself is to resize it. And the thing I love about PicMonkey is that everything is very well labeled. So we don't have to guess. We want to resize, we click resize. All right, so then we're going to change it to the numbers that we need to know for a YouTube thumbnail. We're going to change it to 1280. Notice how the image on screen here started changing, and it's still a square because it says keep proportions. So it's not going, it's going to keep it as a square because that's what it started as. So if I uncheck that box, I've just basically unlocked it so I can make it whatever size I want. And I'll change it to 720 on this side. So 1280 by 720 gives us what we need for a YouTube thumbnail. We now have the size we need. Now, for my particular YouTube thumbnails, I like to have an image of my art and then a title, something to grab them. So I'm just going to go over here to all of these things on the left-hand side are the different navigational windows. So right now we are on basic edits, and these are all the buttons that you see for basic edits. Then I'm going to go over here and we'll see those are effects and all the fun stuff you can do with an image. This is where you would do touch up, blemish fixes, and whiten teeth, and all kinds of cool things you can do with images. And it's all very automatic and it's very easy to use. This is how you would use text. This would add text to anything that you're working on. And then this butterfly is called overlays. This is where you're going to add imagery. So for me personally, I like to go in and find my own. I can add my own image instead of using one of theirs. They have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of images. They're usually two-dimensional. Like the hearts here, we'll just show you. You can add a heart, and you can make it all sorts of sizes. And you can flip it around and move it and all that. And you can even make it like that. Cool stuff, right? But I'm not going to use a heart. I'm going to actually use an image from my computer. So I'm going to do this, and you'll see my messy, let's see, this is my messy stuff here. Okay, so this is the image I'm going to use for this because we're going to make a thumbnail for yesterday's
craft show.
I already made one for it, but I don't really like it. So we're going to redo it, okay? So this is the image. It pops into it in full size pretty much. And at this point, I can move it around by just grabbing it and moving it. And then for my own personal use, I like to have an image on one side, left or right, depending on which way I'm facing. This is more of a design element class that we might want to do someday. But for the most part, the person in this picture, who happens to be me, is facing to my right. So I'm going to put the picture on the left, because if it goes over here, it looks like she's looking away from what the words are going to be on the side. So again, just a design element tip there. And then I'm going to leave this section over here to put text. Okay? So this is the simple way. I can usually do this in under 10 minutes usually. So it's going to take me a lot longer to explain it to you, obviously.
Yeah, it always happens that way.
All right, so the next stage of my game is to add text. So I click the T because that is for text over here on the left. And I have a slew of amazing fonts that they always add. You see these new. They're just adding them all the time. It's really, really cool. There's lots to do here. If you have favorites, keep a note of what your favorites are. A lot of times the ones that I've most recently used are usually in the top up here so I can see them. You also have the option to get to your own fonts. If you happen to have fonts on your computer that you use, and maybe you've downloaded some fonts off the internet, you've got the ability to access those here as well. So Go back to ours. That means these are the ones that belong to PicMonkey. And just as a word of note, you might see this gold crown next to this particular script is a royal
Pain
royal
in the
perk.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, it's called a royal perk. It is PicMonkey is a free program, but some of the royal perks are paid for items, and for one, they have a monthly fee or they have an annual fee. Of course, you save a little bit more with the annual fee, but you get different benefits, like being able to use some of these royal features, like these scripts that have crowns, but you can see there's tons that don't have a crown. So if you aren't sure about it, you don't have to purchase PicMonkey to use it. Okay.
Oh,
so,
you were just reading Andrew's mind out there, because he has a comment out there. Is all this free, right? And I was like, yes, it is. Okay, maybe not all of it. No, I'm just kidding.
I
so
think
you just
he meant the show
it.
because I think he meant the show because of your Pixlr tutorial so far. So, all right. So, the first thing that I want to do is I want to decide what is the title that I'm going to say, and I am going to actually call this one Painting a Hummingbird. So I just choose add text up here at the top. It gives me a text box that I can drag around. I type in Painting a Hummingbird, and actually I'm going to make the A small because there's no need for it to be big. And this is just a design element issue. Give me 1 second because I need to look at something here. Yep. Okay. So let's make it centered. So we do that by this little box pops up because I'm using text. This box will pop up, and this is how I control all the features of text. The color, I can make it fade in and out. I can make it bold or italicized with some texts. Each text is a little bit, or font is a little bit different. I can also center it within that box that it's in. So there it is centered. It is centered there in that box. And then I can also change the size by dragging the size around. If I had a specific size I knew I wanted it to be, I could type it in here or choose from below. So there's several options for sizing. My favorite one is to do it like this. I just drag the corner, and when I drag the corner, it makes it bigger text or smaller text, and it's just so much easier to do it. Mm-hmm. Now notice as I grab the text and move it around, the text box has disappeared. The text editing box has disappeared, so it's not in my way. As soon as I let go of my mouse, the text editing box comes back. If I don't like it there, I can drag it out of my way. No big deal. All right, so I like this. I think this is going to work, but I don't really like the font so much. But we'll see what we're doing first. Let's go ahead and add another text box, and we're going to call this one, this was done with Inktense blocks. So let's go ahead and put that up there. And then I have one more thing I want to say. So I'm going to add another text box. So I have 3 different text elements. Now you could type all this in one, but to show you the fun that I'm going to do with this, I wanted 3 different
sizes and stuff.
Say that again?
Different sizes, different fonts, all that, right?
Yeah, and you can actually do that within a box, but this is easier to manipulate when you have 3 different elements this way. All right, so that's kind of, let's move this off so we can see just how boring that is. Isn't that boring? All right, so let's make it a little bit more exciting. I think we're going to change this text to something a little bit more script-like. And this one, it's kind of nice that it remembers what I like to use. So those are right there. And then I always do Craft It Live in this special Elite font. That's just what I've chosen to make Craft It Live wording on any of my things. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. Nothing's quite centered very well, but we can fix it. We can fix it. Okay, so here's what I think we'll do. I think we're going to go into this text, and the effect of text, we can actually make it curve. And we can do an arc. Just click, click, and now it's fancy. Now let's do the same thing with this one. Click, arc. Oh, but wait. I probably would like to have it going the other way. So we're going to just drag this. See, it's at 50%. We're going to drag this to the left to negative 50%, which would be the exact opposite of the other one. And we'll get that right there. And now we've created a little bit more interest in our image, don't you think?
Awesome.
That's kind of neat.
It is awesome.
But it's still a little boring, so let me fix it just a little bit more and then we'll be done. I'm going to just make this a little bit more.
Add your color.
Intense. And make that a little bit larger still. And you know what? You're right, color. So here's how we're going to do color. I like to make my text match my image, and this hummingbird has a ton of colors to choose from, and it's really, really simple. I just click this box over here. Hopefully you can see my cursor
the black
is over this big black rectangle. Mm-hmm. When I click that, it changes it into an eyedropper.
Nice.
Yep. And now I can hover over any color and find the one that I like the best. And let's go ahead and do the same thing with this. And let's choose
some of that red. There you go.
Yeah, you got it. You're reading my mind. And for this one, I think we're going to choose that really bright green. And then one more thing, because that painting a hummingbird sort of blends into everything else. Let's do one effect on this. We're going to call this one style instead of curve. Notice how I chose that button style. And I'm going to say drop shadow. And that black is a little too stark, so let's change that to more of a gray. And now we have an image we can be proud of.
Pretty cool.
Now I got one more trick for you. At this stage of the game, you want to save it. Now, PicMonkey just recently made some changes to the save options, so I want to show you what happens if you click save. You think that's exactly what you would do, but what it's going to do if you click save is open it up into your hub. They have a thing called a hub, and it's part of the paid-for program. If you want to save this in its layers format so you can come in and manipulate it and make changes anytime, then you could save it here. You're paying for a certain amount of space, so depending on the program that you purchased, as to how much space you have in the hub, but that's not what normally we want to do.
I don't have a hub. You have a hub. I have a wife.
Right. All right. So then you can also share these with like social media and stuff. Here's all the social medias over here. I personally have never done this because why would I share it without links and all that jazz? So it's probably something cool to do. I've just never done it myself. But export. That is what you want to do to save the flat image to your computer so that you can utilize it. And when you open it, you have options. So I just want to go through this real quick, and then we'll be done with the presentation on PicMonkey. But you can title it. You can save it as a JPEG or a PNG right here. You can decide the quality. If it's low, if you're just going to be using it as a thumbnail or as a Twitter image or something like that, Roger is really good because it will save you hard drive space or cloud space if you pay for cloud space. So Roger's great.
Who are these guys? Who are these guys? Roger, Pierce, and Sean.
I think they're monkeys.
Okay.
I'm not positive. I can't be quoted on that. So Pierce is where it almost always stays. That's middle of the road. Roger's low quality, perfect for the web, not great for printing. Sean is a great high resolution image saving portion. So if you really wanted to print these and have this go to, say, your Society 6, then this is what you would use, would be Sean. I'm just going to save it as Roger because
it's for a thumbnail.
It's just going to a thumbnail for YouTube. So I'm actually going to change the title to Hummingbird, and then you probably don't want to see me save this, but I am going to save it to my drive in my video This is the embarrassing part because I have like hoarder syndrome when it comes to my files. But you guys are seeing it all right here live. Okay, so I'm going to save it as a Craft It Live image, save it. And then now I can actually go right into YouTube. And I'll show you just real quick. This is how you change your thumbnail.
Fine. We got some time. You're fine.
Is that okay? All right.
We got time.
Actually see. Look, I just want to go back. Because I want to show you. This was the image. See that image? That was the image I made before. This morning I made this image. I don't like it as much as I like the one we just made. So good call. Good call on doing a new image. I'm patting myself on the back. Okay, so I'm just going to go in here and edit. Yep. And then down here where it says create thumbnail, I actually want to change image right here. Change image. And we're going to say, where is it? Painting a hummingbird. Seriously, Heather, you got to deal with this. This is a problem. All right. And there it is. Don't forget to save changes. And now our much more enticing image is...
That is nice. I like that.
It will render here. Let's see.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, it didn't render it yet, but it will shortly. It takes a little while for some of these changes to take place on YouTube, but when it does, it'll be great. So I'll stop screen sharing now. If you're ready for that, sir.
Oh, I am. Yes, hold on. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was sitting there trying to read some comments. Hey, it's great to get your comments too, guys. I appreciate that out there. I hear a lot of people, or see a lot of people out there saying some things and doing some things. Let's see here. Bill says they are all 007s.
I don't know what that means.
What he means by that. Maybe he's talking to somebody else or something. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. But Sandra agreed, so it makes total sense to her.
Awesome. I love it.
So then Andrew says...
Yep, go ahead.
So you can't export the layered file to edit rather than saving to their hub. That is their answer to being able to save. So whereas in I think in Pixlr, you can go in and edit those layers anytime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that's the difference. PicMonkey never allowed us to actually edit the layers. I always had to leave my window open and make changes throughout the day. But now the hub is their answer, and it's actually a new feature, and it's been very useful. I don't know if you noticed the thumbnails on our H&M Show videos. What has been on there, that has been the same image. I just go into the hub and I type in the new title and episode number for each one of those, but I utilize the hub to do that. So
got it.
Oh, Roger, Pierce, and Sean are all 007s.
Oh, yeah.
That makes total sense. You guys are geniuses.
Thank you, Bill.
Total sense.
Bill, you're all right, you know?
Like I said, they're all monkeys. There
you go.
Yeah. Anyway, so hopefully you learned something about both of these programs, and that whichever one is for me, Pixlr is a little too difficult, and I prefer PicMonkey, but I've been using it for a long time. So, you know, and I'm sure if you've been using Pixlr like Michael has,
it's whatever you're comfortable with a lot of times.
Learning something new like PicMonkey.
But you know what? That actually seems really easy. I actually think PicMonkey is good. I actually like that one. I think I might try that. I'm so used to doing layers, though. You can do layers, right?
And what I didn't show you, and I can actually show you real quick. Let me open it. Hello. Yeah, I got it. Hold it. Here we go. All right. Done. All right. Screen share. So here it is. What I did not show you is that down here at this bottom, do you see this little, looks like stacks?
Yeah.
Down here at the bottom underneath me, that is actually the layers feature, and all of these layers are right here, and I can move them under and around and above, but that's more of an advanced feature. That's the only reason why I didn't show it. but it's
Well, that's
there.
fine. I use layers, so I'm glad you did, because maybe it'll entice me, because I really like the way that turned out. It looks really good.
Yeah, so in this position, I can actually manipulate this, right? So let's just say I wanted to really make it much more of a larger image, but now I've obliterated my text, okay? But instead of panicking, I can actually go grab my text with just a click right here.
Yeah,
and if I can't see it, I just drag it up above the image and voila, there it be.
Yeah, it puts it on the top layer.
Yep, and it can do that with each one of these.
Yep, got it.
And I can just bring them right up on top. So we could actually make a whole different image this way.
Cool.
And we could test them and see which one does better. I personally like the other one. Actually, I would prefer it to be like that, but you know, whatever. Anyway, and then if you decided that that's the way you loved it and you wanted to make it all one flat layer, you would just push this button here and it would flatten the image. And then you could just manipulate the whole thing, move it. Instead of when you made it smaller like that, then the words would go smaller with it, etc. So here, I'll just do it real quick just so we can see what we mean. I'm sure we understand, but I'm going to anyway. Okay, so now I have the image and it's flat and it's stuck on there just like that. Ta-da!
And you can undo.
And oh yes, and undo is just right there. Undo the last action. And it's all back to layers.
Can you Control
again.
Z? I'm just curious. Can you Control Z?
I don't know, because I've never tried it. Everything is so visual on this, but let's just try it. Let's see. Do that, and then we'll say Control and Z, and voila, it works.
Cool.
Learn something new every day when you hang out with Michael.
Well, it's very common in a lot of different things. So, yeah, that's cool stuff. All right, I'm going to go right into... I'm going to talk about news. Some news is tech news that's out there that I want to share with everybody. This is so cool. I can't believe some of the stuff that's out there, but this is really cool. This week, the last one, even you freaked out when I said it. I even have an exclamation point in our notes. But Google Keep has added undo and redo. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Google Keep has added undo and redo. And I saw a cool article on that. And I'll put this in our community for the community members, and we'll talk about that a little bit at the end right before we leave too. And now Google Maps, I don't know if any of you that use Google Maps on a regular basis, I know on mobile that I saw this, Google Maps now has a graph to show you every half hour your trip. So it has a little graph down at the bottom. I haven't looked into the details of that, so I don't know a lot about what it's talking about. I know. So every half hour it gives you a little graph of what, I guess, your progress. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it's measuring, but it's kind of cool. So, and go ahead, Heather. I saw you put a note in there. Go ahead and tell everybody what that is.
I was just mentioning to those watching live that I do have an affiliate for PicMonkey. I didn't want to interrupt your tech talk. Come on.
That's okay.
It's tech news. That's way more important.
Well, no, that's still on topic of what our show is tonight. Okay, and the last thing, and I'm only going to say what it is. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. Google Glass is back.
What?
It's exactly what she said, and that's what I put in exclamation points was what? So that's pretty interesting.
That thrills me because I was very interested in Google Glass just before it disappeared.
But who knows? Who knows what that means or what that could be, or even if it's going to be for the public. It might not even be for the public. But
yeah, true.
Seriously, it might just be something that they have out there or something. I don't know. But yeah, cool stuff. Excellent. That's it on the tech news that I have for this week that I was out there looking around and trying to find some stuff.
All right. Cool.
All right. So.
All right. So that means it's time for A and Q, right?
It is time for that.
All right. All right, everybody, you asked and we queried. So Mark Barris had tweeted before the show a really awesome question that I cannot read on screen.
How do I qualify to put ads on my future videos? I'm not using it on my channel at all at the moment. And I can't.
But I want to one day. All right.
Go.
Okay, so as of April of this year, some major changes took place with ads on videos on YouTube. So the thing is, you have to read and agree to the YouTube Partner Program terms. That's step one. So if you're not a part of the partner program, then you need to check that out and see if you can qualify for it. And then you need to sign up for AdSense. That's step 2. Step 3 then would be to set your monetization preferences. So how would you want ads to be displayed on your videos, etc. Then the step 4 is actually out of your control. It goes to getting reviewed by YouTube, and that does not begin, the review process does not begin until you reach 10,000 views on your entire channel.
Wow.
Okay, 10,000 views, not subscribers, 10,000 views on your entire channel. Okay. Now, this goes for all time, not any one video or anything like that.
Okay.
But as of April 6th, 2017, channels that have fewer than 10,000 views on their entire channel cannot run ads on their videos.
Okay.
You can learn more about that at the YouTube creator blog and how to become a part of the partner program on their YouTube creator blog. So you want to check that out if you are interested in becoming a partner and monetizing your videos.
I love that.
You asked, we queried.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for bringing that up and going over that with us, Heather. That's awesome stuff.
Yeah, no, thank you to Mark for asking the question. We really do appreciate your tweets, buddy. You set the tone pretty much for the show, because when we get your tweet, we get a little bit excited about doing the show. So thank you very much for that.
Absolutely.
And I know that Bill also tweeted before the show too, so we appreciate that too, Bill.
Yep. He just put it, it's right there. Goes live in 10 minutes. Join for some fun and tech. It won't hurt a bit. I promise it won't hurt a bit.
It doesn't hurt too much.
That's not too bad.
Might be how I would have put that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Make sure you have a lollipop or a popsicle, because it might hurt a little bit. So
yeah,
kids always appreciate that. One thing that's really cool too, and I'm going to mention this about you, Heather, especially. I know that everybody loved, and we have a community. Okay, it's a paid for community. We do once a month or twice a month or whatever we feel like.
However, we at minimum once a month, possibly 2 if we both want to do one.
We have workshops.
Yeah.
And we do that in our community. We have everybody come in and they actually can do this stuff on their computer as we're doing it. And Heather does a great job with the YouTube end of it. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's we're doing one tonight after the show. We're going to do one right after
we are.
this.
I'm excited about it, because we're going to be talking about how to implement the information cards as well as the end screens. And we're going to talk about some tips and tricks, and all that stuff is going to be in our paid for community that our members are always invited to join us in the after
show
hours chat.
After hours. I love after hours. Happy hour.
Happy hour.
After
That's
hours,
right. You
happy
call it
hours.
happy hour, yeah. We have about 15 different names for what we do after the show, but they're invited. They come in to hang out with us. We chat a little bit about what we did today, maybe go over some of the things in a little bit more detail. And then tonight, we are doing a workshop, so yeah, it's a bonus.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to this one too, because I'm going to help my YouTube channel out just a little bit too. I think. I hope I am. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that. Yes, I want, and you know, it's $10. Okay, $10 a month. Come in, and I guarantee you that $10, you'll get one thing out of it that's just incredible that'll help you out. And you can ask anybody that is a member. Seriously, just reach out to them and say, is it really worth it? Yeah, $10.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
If you are a member and you're watching this live, let them know in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, please leave a comment down below letting us know if you feel that it's worth the $10 value that you've paid for it. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, especially on the rewatch.
We can step up our game, right, Michael?
That's right. No, we just want to help people out. We just want to help people out, and some of these things that we use this money for is to learn these programs and do some of these programs that maybe we can't afford or don't have, and then we can. It helps us with that.
Like maybe getting a Google Glass and learning how to use it.
I don't think so.
Oh, we need a lot more members, I guess, to do that. But that's not what we use.
We are at time. We're going to do a quick... Oh, here it is. Okay.
Oh, wait, no, you forgot.
Oh, what? It is sneak peek at next week.
I like that they can't see me dancing to the songs.
Next week, we are going over Google Keep. Google Keep is what we're going to talk about. I know. We get to show.
I'm sorry. I get really excited about that. That's a great tool.
It is a great tool. It's awesome. But I'm not going to go into too much detail today because I can sit here and go on and on and on and on because I use it all the time, all the stinking time. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do Google Keep next week. So if you can come out, we'd love to go over that and just kind of show you how we use it as a tool to help us in our show or just note takings and some of the stuff. And some of people saw the video that I put out there on my channel. If you subscribe to my channel, you've probably already seen that video. That's a cool trick. We'll talk about that a little bit too. That's it. That's all we got. Heather, say goodnight.
Wow. Okay. I was going to say, join us next week. We're on some Wednesdays at 8 something, always Eastern.
Eastern time. Always Eastern time.
Good night.
Thank you, folks.